30. We'll call the August meeting of the Wood County Board of Supervisors to order. I would ask the clerk to please take the roll sign in if you have not yet.
They did.
I believe we have Supervisor Zerflu either joining us right at the moment or attempting to join us
He's here.
electronically, remotely. With that, I would ask and call on Supervisor Rosar to come forward for the invocation. I'd ask the body to rise and then remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So since we last met, I had the privilege of going on a Gaither homecoming cruise to Alaska. I think some of you all may have read that one of the singing groups that was supposed to join us was killed in a plane crash, and 7 souls died on their way to Seattle to join our cruise ship. It obviously put a real damper over the whole cruise, and it was a very sad, sad cruise. But Bill Gaither, who's synonymous with gospel music, said when he was speaking to the 2,000 of us that were on that ship, is that, do we believe what we sing about? And these people had sung for years and years about heaven is a beautiful place, about the hope that we have in Jesus Christ. And when Bill Gaither addressed those 2,000 people, he said, we had to answer for ourselves. Do we believe what we've been singing about all these years? And with the death of those 7 people, they had to make that decision. Jeremiah 29 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart. Would you join me in the Lord's Prayer, please? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Please join the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you all those in attendance today, especially my county board supervisors. With that, first order of business today is the minutes from the previous session. I have a motion by Hamilton to approve, a second by Bragg. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor of approval, please signify by aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And that motion carries unanimously. Today we have no resignations. Under appointments or reappointments, we have one, and that is for a term ending June 30th of 2027. Sophia Figueroa. Entertain a motion to that effect to Lightnum and Hamilton. Any discussion? Again, all in favor signify by aye.
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 And opposed? And that motion carries unanimously. Is there any public comment this morning? Any public comment? Okay, I'm going to move along with a couple of comments this morning. The first one, we had an incident in town this morning. Most of you are probably aware of. You might have heard of it. You might have heard on the news. And I think the sheriff was on the phone with me this morning, somewhere around 2:30, although I didn't exactly look at the clock. And if I could call on Sheriff Becker to come on up here. Oftentimes we hear about what I want to call unsuccessful operations or things that go horribly wrong. But we had a multi-jurisdictional situation this morning. There were still squad cars and police officers from various departments all over the county. And Sean, maybe you can give them a briefing what happened, because everybody's been asking me anyway.
Oh yeah, well first off I want to let everybody know that all law enforcement officers are okay. Numerous of them were shot at last night. Just a little bit of a backup of what went on. Wisconsin Rapids Police Department had a report of a domestic disturbance. The suspect fled the scene, taking the victim's car. Some information was shared with surrounding jurisdictions. And the Portage County Sheriff's Department found the vehicle and the suspect driving back towards Wisconsin Rapids near the Plover area. A pursuit was initiated by Portage County. During that initial pursuit, the suspect fired several rounds at the deputy and hit his squad car. Pursuit continued into Wisconsin Rapids. Grand Rapids officer was shot at. He's okay. Wisconsin Rapids Police Department deployed stop sticks to deflate the tires on the suspect's vehicle. He also shot at one of our deputies and hit our squad. Again, our deputy's okay. The suspect's vehicle became disabled around 8th Street and East Grand by a bank. He got out of the vehicle and started shooting at the Portage County deputies and Rapids officers and our officers. Then he fled on foot, and that's the last we saw him for a while. Many of us came in administration, not only with our department, but Wisconsin Rapids, Portage County, because so many departments were involved in this. And we didn't know where he was. Scott Sager, who recently retired, told us when he retired, call me anytime. You know, he's got a drone business now, and that was one of our first phone calls, and he came in and deployed his drone, and we found the suspect on top of a roof a couple blocks away from where he fled his vehicle. And I'll be honest, without Scott coming in, we probably lost somebody. The drone got up in the area, found him on top of it. He began shooting at many of our officers on the ground and shot at the drone. And one of the officers returned fire and did strike the suspect, who was taken into custody and now is in at Marshfield Medical Hospital. Also want to thank Sarah Christensen for coming in to open up the EOC along with Tony Vaccine to get the EOC up and running. You know, those internal partnerships we talk about all the time, how we work together and how important that is. And they got up in the middle of the night to assist us to get our command post working at the EOC, and worked out great. Currently, DCI is taking over the investigation. Again, the biggest thing that I want to point out, two things. One, all of our law enforcement officers are okay. You know, we'll deal with it emotionally as we move forward with their wellness, but they're okay. The second point I want to make, this is the third incident in central Wisconsin that we've responded to, similar to this, one in Portage County and Adams. It's really worrying. You know, I worry every day, you know, for our law enforcement officers. And this is getting to be too often. You know, so please keep the thoughts and prayers of all of our team that go out and protect you. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, ask me. I can give you some information. We have released some stuff to the media. Like I said, DCI will continue the investigation. I don't know the status of the suspect, but you know, I care more about the people that were involved that wear this uniform. Any questions at all? All right, appreciate the time.
No, thank you, Sheriff. I think, you know, oftentimes we don't honor, respect, or give them the credit due, but the actions, the training, the cooperation was incredible in this event. Because like I said, it was contained within a few hours and the suspect neutralized. So, Sheriff, we really appreciate that. Which leads me to something I normally wouldn't say, but Jeff Penskover, our own county board supervisor, has been out there in a fundraiser for our special response team. So some of the stuff that they do, some of the training that they handle, takes some funds and some fundraising. So if anybody's interested, see Jeff. He'll take care of you after the meeting. The solicitation, not normally handled, but I think was a pretty nice segue. I'll go to the lighter side for a minute here, so we don't do it right at the end of the meeting, maybe while people are still paying attention. And Brad Hamilton, we got the fair started. Brad, would you say a couple of words about that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, the Central Wisconsin State Fair started about 45 minutes ago. Today is just mostly showing animals, and they have the midway is the start of the midway, which is the food and drinks and stuff is open. Starting tomorrow, they'll have all the rides up and running. It goes through Sunday with the demolition derby, traditional demolition derby. There's 5 bands. Please don't ask me their names. I do not remember. But some are sold out, some are not. Give a call up to the fair, and they'll tell you who's got what left over. I know people were coming in yesterday. One girl actually ran 5 blocks or 7 blocks to make sure she could get a ticket. She come upstairs. I said, "Do you need water?" You know. It was really cool, so it's a lot of fun. I'm up there volunteering, what I'm doing is driving a cart, so if you send me a text, I'll come pick you up and bring you from the gate. I'm not sure you'll make it to where you're going, but we'll try. It's a lot of fun, I like it. This is my second year doing it, it's a lot of good people to work with, and it's just really good. I know Sheriff's Department's set up, Marshfield, safety set up, which I mean the police and the both fire and rescue are there. I can't remember any the rest of them.
Rocks waving, the veterans are gonna be there.
Yeah.
Our mobile communication trailer's up there, if any of the supervisors want to stop.
That's up there too, that's really nice, thank you. Again, it's just something to see. Come on up and take a look, and we appreciate you staying. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. I wanted to make sure we got that mentioned in earlier in the meeting than right at the end when nobody's paying attention anymore. I thought it was kind of important. So appreciate it, Brad. Any questions for either of those two people who just spoke? All right, then we had to burn some time because we have no acknowledgements and recognitions today. The one we were going to do, Sheriff's Department, and obviously they're involved with some more important issues this morning. All right, moving forward in the packet, page 5 is the referrals. We had one that went to planning and zoning from Marathon County in regard to their comprehensive plan. And then we get into our meetings. Beginning on page 6 and running through page 9, our minutes of the Operations Committee from August 6th. Moving forward, the monthly update from the clerk's office on page 10. Trent, you want to say anything about the election or?
No.
No? Okay. It happened, it went well?
Yeah, I'll take a couple seconds. It did go pretty well. We had some problems with our modems. 13 municipalities could not modem, so it was kind of a frantic few minutes for a while in our office. But 38% turnout in the county, that's not too shaky for a partisan primary, to be honest with you. So I'll have those other stuff in my monthly letter comments for next month. So.
Supervisor Hamilton, you have your hand up?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I just want to thank Trent and all the help that the county's given. Nakusa just had a retirement. Our Joe Rush, he retired as our city clerk. And we got a new clerk, and she's doing a fantastic job, learning like crazy and fast. And she's coming up here and asking questions and going at and doing everything good. And I just want to thank the clerk's office for assisting her as much as they have and are going to do. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Supervisor. Actually, when I came in to talk to Trent one day, he was down in Nakusa training, so that's another service that we provide. And those are pages 10 and 11. All right, moving forward, the Human Resources Department, their monthly comments on 12, and that runs through 16. 12 to 16. And then the Treasurer's Office on page 17, Employee Wellness on 18, and that brings us to the first resolution in the packet on page 19.
This will be Resolution 24-8-1 to amend the 2024 UWSP Marshfield Capital Projects budget to include expenditures for projects that were in process but not completed at December 21st, 2023. Fiscal note, no cost to Wood County. The source of the funding is unspent funds from previously approved capital funds. The adjustment to the budget totals $20,786.
I have a motion by Roser and a second by Bride. Any discussion? Any discussion? All right, please vote.
Supervisor Zerflo.
Aye.
Thank you, Supervisor Zerflu. And I should probably vote too, huh?
That would be helpful.
Mine is not working. Here we go, thank you.
Yes.
Did you vote for him too, or did you
I was
just?
going to say, you didn't ask him how it went.
I'm making the assumption.
You know what happens when you assume.
You voted the right way this time. Congratulations.
And that resolution passed 18-1, 18-1. All right, the late insert into your packet, the late addition, page 19A, another resolution brought forth by the Operations Committee.
And this will be Resolution 24-8-2 to authorize the sale of tax deeded property back to the former owner. Fiscal note, the paid amount was $7,909. $1.35.
Thank you. I have a motion by Hamilton. I have a second by Schultz. Discussion? All right, seeing none, please vote.
Supervisor Zerflo.
And that resolution passes 19-0. Again, thank you. Wendy, I was going to ask you if you wanted Trent to come down there and vote again, but it seemed like you got her handled this time. All right. Next resolution in the packet begins on page 20 with all the information, runs through page 37 with the certificate for the bonding being in there. I'd ask the clerk to please read the resolution.
This will be Resolution 24-8-3. Resolution authorizing the issuance and establishing parameters for the sale of not to exceed $10 million general obligation promissory notes.
Good. I have a motion by Hamilton, a second by Voigt. Bill, did you raise your hand there? Supervisor Voigt, you were raising your hand to second that, Bill? You seconded that? Correct, okay. This is part of the original borrowing plan that we had. I had asked that question earlier. We have a motion, second, though, discussion. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, then I'd ask you to please vote.
Supervisor Zerflo.
Aye.
And that resolution passes 18-1. 18-1. Thank you. And every time we pass one of those, I think, what do you think we signed, Trent? 100 documents?
Oh, yeah.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them anyway. All right, moving forward in the packet, page 38, the minutes of the Health and Human Services Committee of July 26th, or 25th, I'm sorry, that's 38, 39, and 40. North Central Community Action on 41 and 42. The monthly update from the Health Department, 43 through 46. 43 through 46. The Human Services Report, their update beginning with Director Ruings on 47, and that runs through page 53, 47 to 53. And then the Veteran Service Officers Report, 54, 55, and 56, and Rock was waving his hand before. They're going to be at the fair as well. Go and see Rock and his group. Brings us to page 57 and 8, and that is another resolution brought forth by Health and Human Services.
This will be Resolution 24-8-4 to advocate for increased mental health funding to be included in the 2025 to 2027 state biennial budget. Fiscal note, no cost to Wood County. Additional state funding would reduce the burden on Wood County taxpayers.
A motion by Clendenning, a second by Lightnum. Any discussion? Any discussion? I'd ask you again to please vote.
Supervisor Zerflo.
Aye.
And again, that resolution passes 19-0. All right, moving forward, page 59 and 60 is the Public Safety Committee minutes of August 12th. We have the Civil Service Commission minutes from the 7th of August and the 8th of August on 61 and 62. And then we have the monthly report from our Sheriff's Department, begins on 63 and runs through page 85, 63 through 85. Minutes from the Seed Committee, 86 and 87, their meeting from July 31st. And then we have the same committee in their meeting from August 7th on 88, 89, and 90. And then once again, their meeting from Tuesday, August 13th on pages 91, 92, and 93. And they had a few meetings dealing with some of the economic development grants, and I thought they handled those pretty expeditiously and with a lot of thought. I appreciate the time they put in as a committee to work on those. Moving forward, we have the joint meeting of the North Central Wisconsin Tourism Partnership. That's a rebranding, a renaming of ITBEC, which was International Trade Business, but we really didn't do a lot in international trade or business anymore. It was really specifically geared to the tourism end. That's pages 94 and 95, and the new president of that tourism group is your own Brad Hamilton. So if you have something dealing with tourism, you want to see it promoted, or you want to see it as part of the ITBEC, North Central Tourism agenda, it's going to be hard to break. It's been a lot of years of that. Please see Supervisor Hamilton. Census and Review Committee, their meeting of July 23rd on page 96. The Land Information Council minutes on 97 and 98. Update from UW Extension, beginning at 98 and runs through 105, 98 to 105. Update from our Land and Water Conservation Department, begins on 106 and runs through 111, 106 to 111. And then the update from Planning and Zoning, 112 to 115, 112 to 115, beginning with Director Grunberg's. We have the Judicial and Legislative Committee meeting of August 1st on 116 and 117. And then the update from the Child Support Agency, Director Brewings, on 118. Monthly update from the Clerk of Courts on 119. From Court Counsel Kastenholz on 120. The Criminal Justice Department, 121 and 122. And then the Register and Probate on page 123. Register of Deeds update, page 124. Went through this so fast I can't even turn the pages that quick. And then Victim Witness Services, their report on 125. And that brings us back to more minutes, and that's minutes of the HERC Committee, Highway Infrastructure Recreation. Their meeting from August 1st, and that begins on 126 and runs through 129. 126 to 129. The Wood County State Wildlife Advisory Committee of April 9th on 130. And then we have the monthly reports, beginning with the Highway Commissioners on 131, and that runs all the way through 137, 131 through 137. And again, the monthly update from the Parks Department begins on 138 and runs through 142, 138 to 142. Brings us to page 143 in your packet, and that is a resolution brought forth by the Highway Infrastructure Recreation Committee.
This will be Resolution 24-8-5, to give the Parks and Forestry Director and/or the Forest Administrator and the Highway Infrastructure and Recreation Committee authorization to apply for reimbursement for the Fish and Game and Wildlife Habitat projects through the County Conservation Fund. Fiscal note, this is a 50-50 matching fund grant for projects totaling approximately $5,000 per year. 50% would come from the grant award and 50% would come from the Park and Forestry Capital Projects account.
Wayne, I had a motion by Schultz and a second by Bry. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Again, please vote.
Supervisor Zerflu.
Aye.
Once again, 19-0, passed unanimously. Moving forward in your packet, the Property Information Technology Committee begins on 144 through 146. 144, 145, and 146. Their monthly update, which is long because they're involved with about every department in the county on every single issue that we deal with, begins on 147 and runs through page 153. 147 through 153. And one of the things I want to just touch base on, they're spending some time and effort on cybersecurity. There are a number of counties in the state which are going to see significant increases to premium through the insurance companies because they haven't taken some of the steps that we have taken. And so our IT department director, Kaup, and the group have done some of the things necessary to help thwart some of those increases because that is probably the single largest dollar risk to the county. Okay, moving forward, 154, Facilities Manager, Ruben Van Tassel's update. If you want more of that, we have a jail ad hoc committee immediately following this. Most of his time has probably been dedicated to that. And then the Board of Directors for the Fair, they're meeting April 15th on 155 and 156. And the South Central Library Systems minutes from the 27th of June on 157 and 158. And then we have minutes from the University Commission on 159 and 160. And that runs me through the packet. As we're dealing with, not really the commission necessarily, but the campus up there, the Counties Association, Mark O'Connell and some of the others have had direct communication with Mr. Rothman directly as to what the long-term thought process is in planning for these campuses. It hasn't been done in a way that we would find conducive to county government across the state. Our campus remains open, and I think we have a viable plan there, but it has not been the case for some of the others, so appreciate that. Anybody else have anything that needs to come before us today?
Just a note to Mr. Chairman, the jail ad hoc committee meeting will be in Suite 101, which is my office suite of suite. It's actually in the county clerk's office, but I got chewed out from Supervisor Rosar saying, well, it's really not in your office. It is in my office in the back table. So give me a break, give me a chance to get down there, but the jail ad hoc city meeting will be in my office right after the meeting.
That project is coming along. Just a quick update, because it got real quick here, but that project is coming along on schedule, on budget. Our sales tax revenue is coming in as expected. Right now, from a budget perspective, as we're a little more than halfway through the year, we're looking pretty darn good. Right on projections. Everything is so far so good. The next meeting is scheduled for September 17th. I'll mention it again after that, but our Counties Association, the annual conference immediately follows that, basically. I think with the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, somewhere right around there. So, nothing further to do. I'll declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you.